Yay, I remember to put on my speaker today. Hooray for me. Hello, this is Jason Robinson from Illustration by Design. Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to my live stream, my drawing live stream. I am an artist, a graphic illustrator, and I draw comic book and cartoon type stuff for a living. I want to welcome you guys here. As you just saw, that was a small ad for Secret Comics Presents, the comic book, the horror anthology comic that I drew a few months ago, written by Nasser Abadi, and we did a crowdfunding campaign, sold several copies, and I have copies available still. So for the last few days, I've been selling them for 50% off, so you can still get copies for as little as $10 with free shipping. That's the cheapest price. It's been available ever, actually. If you bought it during the campaign, you paid more money that time. So now this is the cheapest price you will ever get it. So if you click the link down below in the description or up there in the chat at the very top, pinned to the top, you can get the book for as little as $10 with free shipping if you live in the United States. So everybody, go click the links down below over there to the side in the chat and buy some copies of Secret Comics Presents. You'll never get any cheaper than that. They'll be signed. All the copies will be signed by myself and Nasser. And you can also buy copies with a head sketch of the character of your choice inside, drawn by me. And those copies will also be 50% off. So I think you can get those for $25. And again, that'll be with free shipping if you're in the United States. If you live outside the United States, if you live in Canada or Jupiter or Mars or somewhere else, we'll have to charge you shipping because it's pretty expensive. But if you live in the US of A, you will get free shipping, and I will send those out ASAP. But you have to order it today, because at midnight Pacific Standard Time, the prices are gonna be going back up. So if you want the book for as little as $10, this is your last chance to do it. Don't wait. Again, once it hits midnight on the West Coast, the prices are going back up again. So do it, order it, and get these books out of my home. Okay? Thank you very much. All right. Now today, I'm going to be drawing a character that I've never even heard of before. Um, KOS-MOS, and apparently it's a video game character from a video game called Xeno Saga. Is that the name of it? Or Xenoblade? I'm not familiar with it, but it was a commission request from one of my subscribers, Jonnydingleburg, and he made this request months ago. And unfortunately, it got lost in the shuffle, and I just completely forgot about it. And I just recently realized that I hadn't drawn this character for him. So Xenotype, yeah, Vimri, Xenotype, yeah. It's for a friend of mine named Liam Gray. But it's and I completely forgot about drawing this Xenosaga character, or Xenoblade Chronicles character for him. So I got to do it, because he paid me money and he's expecting this art. And surprisingly, he I never heard back from him. Uh, Once he made the request. So I once I found out that I hadn't drawn it, I was like, I gotta draw this thing. I get racked with guilt if I don't fulfill my obligations to people. So I'm gonna draw this. He gave me all of his mailing information, so I want to get this drawn and then mailed out to him as soon as possible. So I want to get this done this week. So you can watch me struggle to get this drawing done, and hopefully Jonnydingleburg will be happy once it's finished. Now, I've already done like a preliminary sort of mock-up of the pose and everything on in Photoshop. So I got that as a guide, because I didn't know what this character looked like. Like I said, I'd never heard of her before, so I needed to look for reference and everything. So I got the basic sketch down. I'm gonna lightbox it, try to tighten it up, make it look like the character, and then from that point on, proceed to make it all coalesce into something kind of cool looking, or at least something that Johnny will be able to recognize as a character he wanted me to draw. So right now it's about 8:10, and I'm gonna probably spend about 2 hours working on this. I'm not gonna finish it, because I'm gonna have to ink it as well. But I want to at least get the pencils finished and worked up. So when I go to, oops, sorry, I'm hitting that camera with my shoulder as I try to get my chair situated. So when I go back to this later on in the week, I can just focus on the inking. So today I'm going to be working on penciling. Later on in the week, I will focus on the inking, and then hopefully by the end of the week, it will be done and shipped and in Johnny's hands, so that he will be happy and no longer be wondering and waiting by the mailbox, wondering what happened to that drawing that he commissioned me to do months ago. But anyway, hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. Hope you guys had a fantastic Thanksgiving, and everything is going awesomely for all of you. Let me just check to make sure everything is okay. Camera's on. Sound seems to be on. Try to move the chair around so I don't bump into it. This new chair, the wheels seem to be sticking. Dagnabbit. All right. Now, glasses are on, and they are, in fact, the right glasses, which is good. Believe it or not, I'm messing up far less than I usually do during these live streams. I haven't live streamed in over a week, so I am out of practice. But so far, I haven't blown anything up. Nothing's caught on fire yet, so that is good. Um, I had my fan on earlier, but for some reason it stopped, so I am a little hot. But I'm hoping, which it sounds strange because it is very cool, throughout the country right now. But I'm in South Florida, even though it's kind of cool down here. I think it's like it's in the 70s right now. But my house, my home, holds heat very well. So it's quite warm inside, even though it's pretty cool outside, even with the windows open. So, sorry, I take a drink of water. Anyway, one person's watching. That's awesome. I will put on some music, and get going with this drawing. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. Let me make sure. Oh yeah, if you haven't already, please hit the like button. Please, if you would, hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Please make sure to hit the bell for notifications of future videos, like my inking video later on in the week when I'll be inking this drawing. And yeah, please comment down below if you are so inclined. Let me know what you think of the drawing. I greatly appreciate it and would greatly help the YouTube algorithm, and my channel. So, with that said, I'm gonna play some funky music and then start drawing.
It's dramatically new, made possible only through years of research, invention, and innovation. Yet when wires are loaded with a lot of conversations that are boosted in strength and travel some distance, something else happens.
Sorry, I clean my glasses.
You see, instead of sounding like this, your voice comes out sounding like this.
Turn that off.
Come on, I want you to meet a great new star.
Oh, there we go. I'm using my wife's iPad, and I'm not used to it, so I gotta try to figure out exactly how things work with it. Let's see. I'm also trying to decide as I'm drawing this how much the way she's depicted, this character KOS-MOS, you can tell in the thumbnail for this video, she's like an anime character. But I don't really draw anime character. I can draw in that style, but that's not the natural style I'm inclined to draw in. I tend to draw in a much more American cartoon superhero style. So I'm just trying to figure out how much of that anime style I should be incorporating in her. My tendency is to not draw anime characters in an anime style. My inclination is to draw anime characters in an American style, but so that's what I'm probably going to do with her. But I just have to figure out just how much I should do that. And also, her hair covers up so much of her helmet wear, her headdress, that I'm trying to figure out again, as I'm drawing, as I'm sketching this character, just how much of her. Hmm. Huh. Yeah, I'm not. I gotta figure this out as I'm sketching. Because I really don't know what. Uh, uh, hmm. I'm not. I don't know. Um. Let's see here. Marie says, I am drawing too. My first serious drawing since about 20 years, and I'm struggling, and I'm terrible, out of shape. Yeah, well, it doesn't. That doesn't change no matter if you haven't drawn in 20 years or 20 hours. You're always struggling. I'm like I said, I'm trying to figure out exactly what or how I'm going to draw this, what style, and I draw all the time, so um, yeah, struggling is just a part of being an artist. So, and again, I mean, this character. My problem with this character is that when I looked her up, she seems to have a lot of different sort of looks. So I'm not sure. I have to. Huh. I th- I think there are different styles for her depending on which video game she's in, and I'm just gonna mix and match. I think it's not gonna. I'm not gonna. I guess not. I'm not gonna go with a standard style for her. It's just she's there's so many different costumes for her that she has like a big gun. Yeah. Let's see this one. Let's see this one. That one's different from. Okay, I'm just gonna pick stuff that I like, and then I'm just gonna grab different looks that I like from the various styles she's in, and then I'll just go with that. That's what I'm gonna do. Oh, 3 people are here. Oh my gosh. Um, Thank you everybody for watching. I appreciate it. Vic says Shang-Chi was cool. You liked it? Are you asking me if I liked it? I did not like it. Because I am a comic book fan, and my judgment regarding adaptations of comic books or adaptations of anime or whatever is how similar is this adaptation to the source material. If the adaptation veers too far away from the source material, and I'm a fan of the source material, I don't like it. And Shang-Chi was almost nothing like the source material. The MCU movie was almost nothing like the comic book it's based on. It's like they looked at the comic book, they took the first name of the character and the very general basis for his story, and then just tossed in the garbage and just made everything else up from scratch. And there in the comic book, there's no Pokemon Village, Fantasyland that Shang-Chi's mom is from. That's complete garbage. There's no Shang-Chi has no relationship to the Mandarin or the 5 rings of the Mandarin. That's nonsense. They just cobbled a bunch of stuff together, slapped Shang-Chi's name on it, and threw it out like dog food to the general masses to gobble up. Um, I'm I just I it's just I don't know. I watched it, you know, and okay, it was whatever, but it wasn't Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi in the comic books is basically Bruce Lee. It's just pure martial arts. There's no magic. There's no fantasy elements in it. It's just the character Shang-Chi is like in a movie. He's the son of an Asian criminal, but in the comic books, his father is Fu Manchu, the classic Chinese you know evil criminal. And Fu Manchu trained Shang-Chi to be a living weapon, his top assassin, just like in a movie. Um, and and then Shang-Chi rebels against him and fights against his criminal organization. Again, sort of like the movie. So the basic outline for Shang-Chi is there, but the movie like throws in all this weird, like it's like they it's like Marvel wanted to throw in every different type of Chinese filmmaking into one. Kung Fu, I think it's pronounced Wuxia. The fantasy elements with the Pokemon and dragons and weird people flying and stuff. And did they have any gun fu in it? They didn't. They should have had gun fu. That would have been cool. But so they combined like sort of fantasy Chinese movies with kung fu for Shang-Chi, and to me it kind of, I would have preferred just a straight kung fu movie. That's the type of movie that I wanted to see from Shang-Chi. I wanted to see a lot more martial arts, a lot more believable fighting, like cool fighting, and no fantasy stuff. I didn't want to see dragons. I didn't want to see weird Pokemon characters running around. And the sort of like fantasy land, like his mom's from Narnia, and that was just silliness to me. And I would have loved it if Shang-Chi were like, I don't know, like The Raid. That would have been awesome. Just a pure martial arts movie. I would have loved that. But yeah, so I wasn't crazy about the Shang-Chi movie, and also, oh my gosh, there's so much stupid stuff in it. It was killing me watching it. What's her name? Aquafina. What was her purpose in that movie? Why was she in that film? She was stupid. I mean, the idea that Shang-Chi, his best friend, is some idiot who parks cars at a restaurant, and that he parks cars at a restaurant. That's his job. The guy's 20s, in his late 20s, and he's parking cars at a restaurant, but he's like the best martial artist on the planet, and that's all he can do. Come on, it's ridiculous. He didn't find a job in Hollywood doing stunt work. He didn't find a job being a bodyguard for some multi-gazillionaire. Instead, he's parking cars for no reason. It's just dumb. It made no sense. I don't understand why she was there, and also why they would even let her hang out with him. Once they both arrived in China, why why did his father, the Mandarin, like allow her to go anywhere he went? She's nobody. He should have just like dropped her off somewhere, sent her, put her on the first plane back to America. It didn't make any sense at all. But it's a Marvel movie. At this point, Marvel has stopped worrying about being faithful to their own books. They're more interested in seeing what gets people into seats. I mean, they'll basically 50% of the audience will watch a Marvel movie no matter what. So Marvel can put something like Captain Marvel on the air, in movie theaters, and people will spend billions of dollars to watch it just because it says Marvel on, no matter how bad it is. So Marvel doesn't really care at this point. They're just sort of using the comics as a farm to get IPs from to make movies based on them. So I don't think they're that worried about it. Um, let's see. Vic says he was trying to hide his identity and change his identity and hide. Remember, can't do martial arts and stuff. But his dad was obviously keeping track of him the entire time. So even though he wasn't doing martial arts, I mean, his father knew exactly where he was. That's why his gang found him on that bus. So it's his father is, how old is he? It's like 1,000 years old, and he has like an international, crime syndicate, and he thinks his father can't find him. He knows who his dad is. It doesn't make any sense. And obviously his father did find him without him doing any martial arts. He found him. So it was a waste of time. So if your dad's that powerful and your dad's going to find you no matter what, you might as well just make use of the talents you have. You guys parking cars. It was ridiculous. Vic says it was real Chinese mythology, grandiose. I'm into a lot of Chinese, and that movie fit in really real well with the stuff they produced. Ben Kingsley was good though, right? Yeah, Ben Kingsley was funny. I liked him. I liked his Mandarin, that his sort of faux Mandarin. But the problem is, I mean, okay, it's Chinese mythology is cool, but Chinese mythology has zero to do with Shang-Chi. I mean, I mean that's my point. I mean, it's like having a Captain America movie and then filling the Captain America movie with, Paul Bunyan and Johnny Appleseed and stuff. It's like that. Okay, they're American mythology, but they have nothing to do with Captain America. Just because he's American doesn't mean you have to throw in everything about American mythology into a Captain America movie when it doesn't belong. Just because Shang-Chi is Chinese doesn't mean you have to toss in a whole bunch of Chinese mythology into a movie that shouldn't have anything to do with Chinese mythology. Shang-Chi is just a straight martial arts character. He was basically Marvel's version of Bruce Lee. He was not. It had nothing to do with mythology. It had nothing to do with fantasy. It was just straight up kung fu butt kicking. And I wish they'd focused entirely on that and had a lot less of the sort of silly fantasy elements to it. But I'm saying this as a fan of the source material. Again, I don't think Marvel really cares about the source material that much, other than using it as a way to make whatever movies they want to. So I'm probably not their their target audience at this point. But it was not as bad as Captain Marvel. So, and it wasn't as bad as the Eternals, which was a real terrible movie. So I will say that Shang-Chi could have been worse. Vic says, yeah, they cater to Chinese. I don't know. Probably could have made a more realistic story. A lot harder to write, though. I don't think so. I mean, it's just, it's, I think it's, I don't know. But, strangely enough, I didn't the Chinese have problems with, Shang-Chi? I'm trying to remember. I think they did. But I can't remember exactly what. But I'm of the mindset that it should not matter if the Chinese have a problem with it. I have a problem with Marvel sort of kowtowing to the Chinese and removing elements from their films, based on the approval of the communist Chinese government. I think that's just stupid. But again, Marvel is going to do what Marvel wants to do, and it doesn't really matter what fans or anyone else thinks about it. I did see Ghostbusters this weekend. It was very good. The new Ghostbusters Afterlife, really really good. If you are a fan of the original 1980s Ghostbuster film, you will really enjoy um, Ghostbusters Afterlife. It is a worthy and very fitting sequel to the 1980s Ghostbusters 1 and 2. And the best thing of all, it completely eliminates the Ghostbusters from 2016. So it was a very very good movie. I encourage everybody to watch it. What are his powers? Vic says, what's his backstory in the comics? His powers in the comics is that he's a kung fu master. That's it. He has no powers. He's just a he's just Bruce Lee. He's the best martial artist on the planet. Those are his powers. He's master of kung fu. Is he? No, he's not the best on. He's not the best martial artist on the planet. He's the best kung fu artist on the planet. So he's a master of kung fu. Those are his powers. That he's trained his entire life to master the art of kung fu. So he has no powers. Although I think recently, very recently in the comics, they decided to give him powers. I guess because this movie was coming out, they thought it's like, oh wow, the movie's coming out, we got to give him powers, blah, 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 because they're idiots. But yeah, the powers they gave Shang-Chi very recently is that he is now a Naruto clone. He can make copies of himself like Naruto. So Marvel didn't even take the time to try to think of original powers to give him or even creative powers. They just sort of ripped off Naruto and gave him shadow clone making abilities, which is kind of lame, you know. It's like the character was cool, as he was, but whatever. Again, Marvel's gonna do whatever it wants to do. So, but historically and generally, Shang-Chi doesn't have any powers. And again, his backstory is kind of the same as in the movie. I mean, he's the son of a international crime lord, and he's been trained since birth to be the best martial artist in the world. That's his backstory, and then he rebels against his father. But in the comics, he doesn't have like a mother from Fantasyland and or Pokemon Island or wherever she's from, and all that stuff it was made up for the movie. But yeah, Ghostbusters was very good. I mean, I was hoping it would be good, but I wasn't really thrilled by the trailers when I saw them. Um, so I was kind of like, yeah, I hope it's good. But then when I finally saw it, I went, I took my wife for a birthday, and it was just really good, really good. I don't want to give anything about it away, but I just encourage everybody to go watch it, even if you're not, that excited about it in general. I think it'll surprise you. I also saw I guess Netflix put out the final 5 episodes of the He-Man series, and I watched those. It was terrible. Oh my gosh! I mean, the first 5 episodes were terrible, and these last episodes were equally bad. Apparently, I guess Kevin Smith's trying to tell people that, oh yeah, it's like the new the last 5 episodes are totally He-Man. They're totally He-Man centric. People just misjudge the show based on the first 5 episodes, but that was only half the story. I mean, the last 5 episodes are all about He-Man. That's a load of garbage. That's a lie. The whole series is basically the Tila show, and He-Man doesn't show up until the very last episode. And this is the last episode. Maybe it's like the tail end of the ninth episode. And it's just the whole thing is just woke garbage, trash. Tila is the Shiro of the story, the heroine, the big kahuna. She ends up with being the all powerful person in Eternia. It's just whatever. He-Man. Oh gosh, it's just bad. Skip it. Don't waste your time watching it. There are far better things to look at than Kevin Smith's She-Man, Mistress of the Universe. Um, Vic says, yeah, it seemed weird connecting Shang-Chi to the Avengers in the end. Should have been more realistic and just hooks up with Black Widow. Hawkeye is Ronin or something. Well, Black Widow's dead, so he can't hook up with her. Hawkeye, I think, just wants to live his life with his family. So, but yeah, I mean, that didn't bother me. I mean, because they have to connect all their movies together, so they can use the characters in whatever way they want to. That didn't really bother me. I mean, what bothered me more about the ending was the fact, again, that Aquafina is going with him to hang out with what's his name, Doctor Strange's buddy, whatever his face is. I can't remember his name. But yeah, it's like, why would he ask Aquafina to? Why would what's his name? I can't remember his name. Wong. Why would Wong, when he goes to retrieve Shang-Chi to get his help, why would he have Aquafina go with Shang-Chi? Aquafina can't do anything. She parks cars. That's all she does. And she's goofy, and she says, she makes dumb jokes. What use is she to the Avengers? That annoyed me more than anything else. Eternals the same as Shang-Chi, kaiju monsters. Eternals like butchers the original comic book that was written and drawn by Jack Kirby. The movie is a, is an insult to the comic book it's based on. It's just garbage. So it deserves all the bad press it's gotten just because it's such a bad movie. So I mean, I don't. It doesn't have kaiju monsters really in the comic book. The monsters in the comic book are, they're bad guys, and they're, the deviants, but they're characters. They're thinking, talking characters in the movie, in the MCU movie. They just made them into sort of generic dragon-like monsters, and they're not like that in the comic book. They just really ruined everything that made the Eternals cool in the comic. They just completely destroyed that in the movie. So it is a waste of film, a waste of time, a waste of money. So I do not encourage anybody to waste any of their time, money, or energy watching it. I did see Hawkeye though. I saw the first 2 episodes of Hawkeye last week, and I generally liked it. I thought it was good. My uh, I my problem with it is that I don't know anything about Kate Bishop. I don't know anything about her character in the comics. Is she supposed to be unlikable or annoying? Because that's the way she came across to me when I was watching it. Because she's constantly getting involved with stuff that is none of her business, and she's making these jumps in logic that have no basis in reality. Um, I mean, I'm watching it, and some guy in the some rich guy, because she's rich, her mom's rich, and they hang out in like rich society stuff circles and everything. And some rich old guy like is yelling at, or is in a room somewhere doing a gala, and he's sort of yelling at her mom for some reason because of something her mom did, and he makes some general threat, like I know I you better watch your step because I know people and they're they'll give you what for whatever, and Kate is eavesdropping on this conversation for no good reason, and her mom walks away, and Kate says to her, it's like, was that guy threatening you? And her mom's like, I don't know. It's like, maybe, I don't know, because her mom's like rich, so, and rich people I guess threaten each other all the time with I'll sue you or whatever, and so her mom walks away, but Kate like follows this old guy. This guy's like 70 something years old, and Kate's like following him like through this through I don't know where this gal is held, in some museum or something, and she follows him. I'm like, why are you following this old man? Because he had an argument with your mom. It doesn't make any sense. She has no reason to follow this old geezer, but and she ends up following him to, I guess, what's a black market auction, where they're selling, um, I guess, tech that's been found in various battles, like the original Avengers battle from 2012, where they were fighting the Shikari, and the old man is bidding on various stuff, and she gets involved. But I guess my problem is that the premise for a lot of the things that happen in the show are just kind of ridiculous. I mean, you know, half of the problems that Hawkeye and this girl get involved with, actually all of them, would never even occur if this kid, if this 22-year-old college student would just mind her own business and quit getting involved in stuff that have nothing to do with her. Um, and so I kind of found all that stuff annoying. But that said, all the scenes with Hawkeye in it, I loved. I wish the show were just about him and his family, because they're so much fun to watch. I love it. I love watching his kids. I love seeing him interact with his kids. I think that stuff is great. The scenes with his wife where they're hanging out on the phone and stuff, I thought were fantastic. But then they go back to Kate Bishop and her stupidity, and then to me it would just like everything would like just collapse. It's like all the problems, like Hawkeye keeps on getting into all these problems and everything, but they're all due to Kate causing trouble, and Hawkeye having to try to clean up her mess. And it's just like, just ditch her. I mean, I just keep wishing, like, that it was just like, it's called Hawkeye, but it's basically the Kate Bishop causing trouble show, and the Hawkeye having to clean up her mess. So it's a decent show. I mean, I hope it turns out okay. It's just again, I just I don't know. I'm easily annoyed by characters that I find annoying. I'm easily annoyed by characters that I find annoying. That makes sense. But yeah, it's true. I'm not. I have a low tolerance for characters doing stupid things. So when I see Aquafina in a Shang-Chi movie, it sets my teeth on edge. And when I see a character like Kate Bishop causing unnecessary problems that other characters have to clean up because of it. That annoys me as well. So, Vic says Black Panther started screwing them up. Tu Lao is the same as Wakanda. Oh yeah, no, yeah, you're right. Yeah, yes, it was that fantasy land that Shang Chi's mom was from. Yeah, it was basically Wakanda. It was Chinese Wakanda, Asian Wakanda. Most high tech place in the world facing riding rhinos. Yeah, seriously. The beginning with Killmonger's dad getting killed, selling guns was cool setting. Yeah, that was cool. But yeah, well, Wakanda. I mean, everyone always sort of. It's funny seeing. I don't know. To me, it's funny. I mean, you have I guess people on the left were always ragging on Donald Trump for wanting to build a wall, to keep people from entering the United States illegally from Mexico and down south. But the left love Wakanda, which is basically you know Black Trump on steroids. It's like you. They would call Trump xenophobic, but for wanting to have, I guess, orderly immigration in the United States, but Wakanda is like the most xenophobic country on the planet. I mean, they're so xenophobic that they don't even want other Black people coming into their country. They just want people born in Wakanda, to be able to enter their country. I mean, they're like the most xenophobic country, on the planet, and it's crazy how again, it's like people who are relentless about attacking a president just for not wanting illegal immigration in this country are so eager to embrace a fictional country that's all about keeping everyone out except people who look like them and are from that country originally, and who who turn a complete blind eye to human rights abuses and and misery and suffering that happens outside of their walls. I mean, that's Wakanda. I mean, Wakanda's been around in the Marvel universe for what, 1,000 years or more, and they didn't lift one finger to help stop slavery, the slave trade, to help Black people anywhere. I mean, that was the whole premise of Black Panther. I mean, his uncle, Killmonger's father, I guess got sick of it, got sick of Wakanda, like sort of, you know, ignoring all that stuff, and so he went on his own to try to start some sort of crazy race war, which was insane. Okay, that was bad too, but yeah, it was kind of it was an interesting film. Very interesting film. I guess I'm I guess I'm gonna use this costume since I'm already sort of starting on it. Let's see. Yeah, so I saw Hawkeye last week, and I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. Except, man, I'm gonna wait and see. I'll wait and see. What One thing I did like, and I didn't realize this until afterwards, until after I saw it, was that again this is old school comic book type stuff, but Kate Bishop's um it's not her stepfather, but the guy who is the fiance of Kate Bishop's mom, um, is supposed to be Swordsman, who is a villain in the Marvel universe. I didn't realize that when I was watching it. So that should be interesting. I'm looking forward to that. And Swordsman was the teacher of Hawkeye in the comics. He's the one who trained Hawkeye in the comics. I don't know if they're gonna incorporate any of that in the series, but it's cool that he that character is showing up. Vic says you are now the Blake Painter. Blake Painter. Okay. Now, I have no idea. Let's see how's it. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Hold on. There we go. Got some light. That doesn't look too bad. But what else did I see? I saw something else recently. That I guess that's it. Yeah, Hawkeye, Masters of the Universe, um, and Ghostbusters. Oh, oh. Oh, that's how Forrest Whitaker said it. Gotcha. In his faux Wakanda accent. Gotcha. Mistake. My mistake. Got the toes mixed up. Big toe is over here. And there we go. There we go. That's better. Now big toe is here on this. There we go. Hey Jeff Potts, how you doing? Good seeing you. Hope you're doing well. You missed my complaining and ranting about various shows and movies that I've been watching that I wasn't crazy about. What did I talk about? I talked about Eternals, Shang-Chi, the last 5 episodes of the He-Man cartoon from Kevin Smith that just came out, Hawkeye. Talked about the new Ghostbusters, but I like that. The new Ghostbusters is great. Watch that. So there's something else that I watched that was not crazy. I was not crazy about. It came out recently, or saw it recently. What was it? I can't remember. Vic says, "How do you skinny guys go 24/7 without thinking of food?" Well, I think of food. I just eat when I'm hungry. I don't. If I'm not hungry, I don't eat. Jeff Pye says, "Gaming right now." Cool. That's good. What are you playing? I'm drawing a video game character, although I'm not familiar with her. You might know of it, Xenoblade, Xenosaga, but I'm not familiar with it. I've never played it before. So, but there was something. What did I watch that kind of annoyed me? It was very recently. Was it this weekend? I'm trying to remember if it was anime or if it was animated. I saw. No, it wasn't He-Man. I talked about that. He-Man. I saw Ghostbusters, He-Man, Hawkeye. Now it's gonna kill me. It's gonna bother me like the rest of the night. I wasn't in the theaters because that was Ghostbusters. Like I said, that was good. So I had to have seen it on TV. Give me 1 second. This is gonna bother me if I don't think of it. Stay there. Now you guys can see. What was that show? Dag nabbit. The show was. Let's see. Give me a second. Cowboy Bebop. Okay, it was Cowboy Bebop. That was the show that I watched that I was not a big fan of. I mean, sorry. I just went and got some Twizzlers. I'm not a big candy person, but every once in a while I get a hankering for candy. And so when I went to the store today, I had a yearning for Twizzlers. So I got them. There we go. So I will eat them slowly while I'm working. Big Sis, I'm always hungry. Man, if I had your skill. Yeah, if if I had my skill, I should be doing more with my skill than I do. That's part of the frustration. I'm always I need to force myself to not waste the time and talent that God has given me. I find myself doing that. I need to put it to use more often. Dag nabbit. I need to live stream more. But yeah, I watched Cowboy Bebop, and it wasn't terrible. It wasn't the worst adaptation, film adaptation, TV adaptation of anime. It wasn't the worst, but it wasn't that great. It was better than Netflix's Death Note, okay, and it was better than Dragon Ball Evolution. However, it was not. It doesn't even compare to something as great as the live action Rurouni Kenshin, or even the live action what was it? It's Full Metal Alchemist. That was much better than Cowboy Bebop. The problem was that it was American made, and so I knew that it wasn't going to be that good. Americans just they can't make, or they don't have the willingness to make a good adaptation of an animated property, whether it's Cowboy Bebop, whether it's Ghost in the Shell, Death Note. They aren't willing to just tell the story as it was originally made or written or depicted. They can't, for whatever reason, their egos get in the way. Whatever reason they have, they ruin whatever property they try to make into live action by putting in their own idiotic garbage. And they did that with Cowboy Bebop, and it ruined it. There's some things they got pretty good. They got the interactions between the three main characters pretty well. I thought that the guy who played Jet did a great job. He was very good. John Cho was too old. I mean, he's like 20 years older than Spike Spiegel's supposed to be, and his version of the character is okay. He got two things I liked about it was that both his voice and the voice of Mustafa, whatever, the guy who played Jet Black, their two voices were very similar to the American dub voices for Cowboy Bebop, which I thought was fantastic. Um, so I was happy about that. I mean, when they spoke, when they were talking, it sounded like the animated characters in the dub version, and so I was happy about that because the dub for Cowboy Bebop is really really good. It's probably the best out of any anime that I've seen over the last 40 years. I mean, it's just been really good. Um, but I mean, they changed too much from the original stories in the anime, and it didn't work. It didn't work well. Um, they Faye Valentine from who's a third member of their crew. They turned her into a lesbian in this live action show when she's not a lesbian in the cartoon. They and for no reason other than to throw that stuff into the show. It served no purpose. It didn't make the storyline better. It didn't make her a more interesting character. It was just throwing gay stuff in there for the sake of throwing it in there. It's just propaganda. It's just nonsense. Same thing with another character, Gren, who had a really interesting story in the anime. Very well-rounded character, very interesting backstory, connected to the main villain of the series. Vicious, a lot of stuff cool with him. And in the live action version, they completely changed him. They turned him into a drag queen, and it was terrible. It just turned a really cool three-dimensional character and made him into a two-dimensional cartoon. Pardon the pun. Oh, hold on, wife's on. Okay, sorry, I'm back. What was I saying? Oh yeah, yeah. So they kind of ruined that, and and it's just I don't know. The Cowboy Bebop is a very it's a classic anime, and so I don't understand why they felt the need to just really screw with the characters in ways that didn't make them better, and just hurt the show overall. It didn't make any sense. I mean, if you're interested in making a good show, it didn't make any sense. It made sense if you just wanted to use that show to push an agenda, then those changes made sense. They hurt the story. they made the show worse, but I guess it makes sense in that general sense. Also, Edward, Radical Edward, who's a fourth member of the crew. She shows up at the very, very end of the season. I guess they're planning on having multiple seasons. And yeah, it didn't it didn't turn out very well. It's pretty bad. So um, there are some things with Cowboy Bebop, the live action Netflix show, that were good. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would give Rurouni Kenshin a 10 in terms of quality. Cowboy Bebop, I would give a 5 on a scale of 1 to 10. So, I mean, Death Note, I would give like a 1. So, on a scale of Death Note to Rurouni Kenshin, it would be halfway between those two. It's not the worst. It's not completely unwatchable, but it's not that good, and it's far inferior to the original anime. I encourage everybody to watch the original anime, rather than waste time with the live action version of Cowboy Bebop. Oh, great. Eyelash in my eye. That does not help me draw. Okay, come on. Okay. What time is it? It is 9:16. Vic says I want to do NFTs for Sniper Wolf, but I suck. Is that a video game? I'm not much of a gamer. I mean, I know Pac-Man, and I know I know some things, but I mean, my general video game knowledge is pretty minimal. Vimbree says, "Hey, I recommended to my father to watch Attack on Titans. He liked it. He's 74 years old. Oh, cool. Yeah, I mean, I watched Attack on Titan. I just never got into it. Maybe it was a cannibalism. I don't know. I kind of lost interest pretty quickly with that, and I also never really understood where these like sort of psychopathic giants come from. I don't know. I guess I had problems with the premise. It was just confusing to me, so I never I never stuck around, long enough to really get into it. I think I've watched maybe like 3 or 4 episodes, and I was like, yeah, I'm not getting this. I'm not getting into this. I'm not not doing it for me. Brimley says, I heard once that is in the Homosexual Manifesto to turn all that is good in gay stuff. Never read that book. Oh, you're talking about, it's called the Overhauling of Straight America. It was written in the 1980s by I think one of the creators of GLAAD, the gay rights group. He and some other guy wrote the Overhauling of Straight America back in the 80s, and it was basically a step-by-step guide on how to mainstream homosexuality and LGBT whatever agenda, while demonizing anyone who opposed it. And again, it was basically infiltrate, get people into the schools, into teaching, into administrations, get them into local governments, get those people elected. Then from there, get those people elected to higher office. And once they're in a higher office, get them to change laws, get people into the media, especially news media, you know, TV, entertainment, newspapers, and sort of like Trojan horse style, get people inside the inside the culture, and then change the culture from within. And it was like a long term. Again, this is spelled out. You can find it online. It's not that long. It's probably like, I don't know, 2 or 3 pages. And just type in into Google the overhauling of straight America, and you'll find it. And it's just step by step how to sort of change the culture within one or two generations, within a few decades, by getting getting people to change their views on things based on popular culture, and doing it, from a young age, that when they're 3, 4, 5 and older, they're getting fed this propaganda, so that by the time they're adults, this is all they'll have known, and anything that's contrary to those beliefs, they'll react to hostilely. And it's turned out to be true. Turned out to be a very effective way to brainwash a society within a few decades, which is unfortunate. So is not served the country well. So what happened to my music? Dagnabbit. I have to reboot my iPod. There you go. Bam. Let's see. Oh, that's not it. Okay, there we go. There you go. Oh, my light's not on. I was like, why is it so dark on my screen? It's like you can't see anything because the light is no longer on. Sorry about that. All right. It's very bright. Very bright.
I'm Patty. I'm Maxine. And I'm a
All right.
The mysterious, the unexplainable. That is why you are here. And now, guys, we are going to reveal the whole story of what happened. The places, my friend, we cannot keep this a secret any longer. Can your heart stand the shocking fact about grave robbers from outer space?
Sorry. Head, camera. All right.
Sure. No. Yeah. No. Yes, sir. Back up the car down the radio. Gotta make another trip.
Let's see. Huh.
The shocking fact about grave robbers from outer space.
Okay.
Many scientists believe that another world is watching us this moment. We once lacked the monstrous carrier, the airplane, the telephone, the electric light, the vitamins, radio, and even television. And now some of us lack in outer space. What have I bumped that control by accident? Should be mid-speak by now. What have I told you? All right, I just don't worry.
Hey Yosh, how you doing? Yosh says, "Damn, she thick. Is she? I don't know. Maybe. I guess she is. Um, yeah, just trying to get some of these proportions right. So, how you doing, Yosh? Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Hope your family's doing good. Okay, I'll worry about the. This is her gun, the gun that she carries. I'll worry about that later on because I'm gonna have enough problems trying to get that settled. Okay. Okay, Alex. Okay. Now,
What have I bumped that control by accident? Should be mid-speak by now. What have I told you? All right, I guess I wasn't thinking. You weren't thinking. You mean you work on engines and machinery and not think of your own personal safety? There. Shake hands with danger.
hmm. Um, Yosh is good. How about yourself? Doing well. Thanks. We went to the Waffle House for thanks. What? You went to the Waffle House? Yosh. Why? The Waffle House. That's not a good place. Oh man. I'm sorry. I'm surprised you didn't make dinner yourself because you're like a you like to eat. So we went to my sister-in-law's place and I made pumpkin pie. So um, but yeah, we had turkey, stuffing, usual stuff. But it was good. Yeah, good evening, good time to relax. So hmm. All right. Let me Let me try to get this costume down. I don't. I'm like nervous. Let me see what this looks like. Okay, I'll get. Oh man, I don't know. What happened? Hmm. All right, let me just get into it and then I'll I'll fix it afterwards. Uh, I don't know how many. The thing is, I don't know how many of these elements are actually accurate. I'm just sort of going by these other drawings that I'm seeing on. I'm getting too wrapped up in. Mm, mm. Let me think. Let me think. Let me think. What happened here? Close that. Open that. Yesh says, I didn't want turkey this Thanksgiving. I wanted to switch it up. Waffle House actually got good food. This place is too hillbilly for a Denny's or Perkins. Nothing exists here, only Waffle House. Too hillbilly for our Denny's. Stop, that's terrible. For a 24/7 restaurant, that is. Okay. Mm. Mm. Okay. Let's try this. Okay. I'll use this as a guide. Hopefully. Hmm. Hmm.
What you get in a hi-fi set is best described as presence, a feeling of life and nearness in the music. Once you've heard high-fidelity reproduction, you'll be hard to satisfy with anything less.
Yosh says, I'm in the deep south. I'm in the deep, deep south. This ain't no Florida. You guys are like California compared to this place. Oh, yeah. I mean, South Florida is basically it's the fifth bureau of New York City. So, but even still, I mean, Denny's is not it's not a high class place, and Waffle House is yeah, Waffle House is Waffle House. You gotta admit they got amazing waffles though. Yeah, but it's not. I've had good waffles a lot of places. I don't know if I'd want to have Thanksgiving there, but if you enjoyed it, that's what's important. So it doesn't really matter. That's cool. Do you see Sechin that often? I don't know how close you are to where he lives or not. I don't know if you guys ever get together for the holidays or no. But if you see him, tell him I said hi. Went to Cracker Barrel today. Oh, good. Cool. That's good. Cracker Barrel is good. That is. I would much rather spend Thanksgiving at Cracker Barrel than at Waffle House. Did we? No, we never spent Thanksgiving at Cracker Barrel, but they have really good food. So okay, you're 3 hours away from Session. You'll be visiting them in the spring. Very cool. Good. Yeah, please give him my best. Hope he and his family are doing good. This is turning out to be less traumatizing than I thought when I first started. I was like, I looked up this character I'm drawing. I'm like, I don't know, I don't know how I'm going to do this because, like I said, I'm not really that. I don't really draw anime style characters that much. And the reference I have for her is a little. Let's see. Um, you got a compliment today from someone on the Cross Comics High Noon live stream. Oh, really? Um, oh, this is from Jeff Potts. Um, they equated your style to that of Mike Miller. Oh, wow, cool. That is high praise because I'm not as good of an artist as Mike. But yeah, thank you very much, whoever said that. I appreciate it. One day I will have Mike S. Miller's skill with pen and ink because I think that's where Mike really excels. He's an excellent inker, very good. But Mike is like what Mike really excels at is inking and speed. He is extremely fast. He's an extremely fast artist, so he he's much better than I am. Much more confident about what he's doing. I mean, I'm confident that I can draw stuff, but he he's able to just boom. He's like he reminds me. He's like Aaron Lopresti, you know. He just like is able to just lay down lines really quickly, and just keep on pumping stuff out. And I tend to agonize over the things I'm drawing, and you know, dwell over things, and that taking up a lot more time than I should. So, let's see. Um, Zimbo Yush says, so here's the question. Why doesn't DC Comics have any stories as epic as the Infinity Gauntlet? Sees Marvel is all the rage these days, and DC has been left behind. DC has those sort of company-wide sagas type stories. I think you probably just missed them. I mean, they had, and probably the most recent one was, sorry, I'm getting more Twizzlers. Uh, Probably the most recent one was the yeah, nabbit. It was the one with the Watchmen. where they rebooted the DC universe. This is probably maybe 3 or 4 years ago. What was the name of that storyline? Anyone? I can't remember. But they had that. They had the New 52. They had you know uh, Crisis on Infinite Earths. That they've had a lot of them since the 80s. I mean, like every 5 years or so, they have another one of these big company wide sort of Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity Saga type stories. I mean, they do it just as often as Marvel does. It's just that you probably just read more Marvel comics than you do DC. Uh, Jeff Pond says, I don't know, Jason, you're just as good as Mike as inking. No, no, I'm not. Trust me, Mike is way better than me with inking. Um, it's not just speed. His knowledge about how to lay down, um, lights and shadows is better than mine. But he does have you beat with speed. Yeah, no, that for me, in my opinion, that's a major factor in how good someone is. I mean, you can be a great artist, but if it takes you like a year to draw a picture, you know, how good are you? You know, I would rather have if you had two artists who drew the exact same way, but one drew a picture in an hour and the other one took a week to do the same picture. The one who did the artwork in an hour, to me, is a better artist because he is able to take that image from his head and put it down on paper, you know, in a short amount of time. That to me that's speed is a factor in terms of quality, you know. So uh, let me see, what am I doing? This character has something on her leg. I don't know what it is though. I'm trying to decipher it. What is this thing she has? So she has something strapped to her leg. I don't know what it is. Does this thing bend with her knee? I don't know. Yash says Mike Mignola is good and extremely unique, innovative in his style. Yeah, I preferred Mike Mignola's earlier work though, from the 1980s. I mean, his Hellboy stuff is fine, but I really liked his stuff when he was drawing for Marvel and DC back in the uh, back in the mid to late 80s. It was much. It wasn't as sort of blocky as his work is now, and he had more detail in it. And I mean, it was you can tell it's still Mike Mignola, but it was just much more, to my eyes anyway. It seemed much more organic, and it was a lot more fun. Like look at his stuff. If you haven't gotten it yet, Yash, look at Gotham by Gaslight. That's a Batman story set in the 1800s. Really good, great story, and drawn by Mike Mignola. That's one of his to my mind one of his best works from when he was working for the mainstream. So I would check it out. Vim Reese says, "Yeah, I prefer Hellboy with shoulders." Okay, I guess this is like below. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look at more reference. I'm trying to figure out where. I don't know what's. I guess these are. I guess this is like a bustier. I don't know what this is. I think it's like a bustier that's supposed to like lift her up. That's what I'm guessing. I'm just. I'm gonna have to look at more reference to try to figure out exactly what's going on with this costume she's wearing. Right now, I'm not sure. Yash says the Death Dealer comics have really good art. I forgot who drew them. Death Dealer. Death Dealer. Is that what's his name? Death Dealer is I mean I know it's Frank Frazetta. Who created the character, but the guy who drew the comics was he also drew Slain for heavy metal, and he drew my brain is dying. Lobo for DC Comics. What was his name? Simon Bisley. Is that it? Is that Death Dealer? Simon Bisley? It might have been. Come on. Don't shut off yet. Okay, it was Simon Bisley. Okay. Yeah, this guy's phenomenal art. Whatever happened to him? I mean, he's so good. I hope he's still alive. Hopefully, he didn't die. But I mean, he's such a great artist. I mean, I am shocked that like he and Alex Ross from the were like they just blew everyone's mind when they saw their paintings back in the '90s. And Alex Ross is still around. I'm trying to think the last time I saw Simon Bisley's work, which is a shame because, like I said, he's a phenomenal artist. Trying not to make any tangents here. Uh, I don't want I don't want John Malin or Mike S. Miller getting on my case if they see this. Why are these tangents? Death Dealer is not DC. Let's see. Vimri says last thing I saw from Bisley was a cover for an Indiegogo campaign. Okay. Um, Death Dealer is not DC, is he? He's just his own entity, I think. Well, Death Dealer is a character owned by Frank Frazetta's estate. He's a character that was on several Frazetta covers back in the, I guess, 70s, maybe 60s. And then they decided to make comic books based on him, I guess. And so the Frazettas own the rights, I believe. He's not a DC character. He's not, yeah, he's his own thing. Vimri says that the Indiegogo campaign didn't do well. Huh. That's unfortunate. Well, I'm sure it wasn't Simon Bisley's fault because people love his art. So I would blame the the campaign itself, that must not have been that appealing, you know, despite having Simon Bisley doing a cover for it. But yeah, I mean, he just like I said, he's a phenomenal artist, and he should be pulling in tons of money. I'm surprised that like Ethan Van Sciver or some someone like that hasn't hired Bisley to do work for them, to do one of their covers. I mean, Mike S. Miller got uh um Kim Jong Ji, that famous Korean artist, to do one of his covers. So why aren't people hiring Simon Bisley? I do not understand that. Wasn't the singer Danzig somehow involved with Death Dealer? Um, possibly. I mean I mean, yeah, I think so. I mean, the Danzig's name associated with Death Dealer is familiar, so I'm thinking like back in the '90s, maybe he had some sort of did he have some sort of his own publishing thing back in the '90s? Danzig, I can't remember. I know he's in the comics and stuff, so. And Marie says it was just some no-name guy who hired him to do the cover. Yeah, that's what I figured. I mean, I guess the campaign was gonna fail anyway. But it's a shame that Bisley, you know, was wasn't able to pull it out of the sort of dregs of Indiegogo. What time is it? It's 10 o'clock right now, so I'm gonna have to get going. But I got somewhat I got a fair amount done with this. I'm gonna need to continue working on it off stream. I'll try to come back tomorrow and continue with the penciling and hopefully tighten that up and finish it, and then later on get to the inking and get that dealt with as well. But thanks for watching. I appreciate everybody hanging out. Again, if you already missed it, if you missed me saying it earlier, today is the last day. I've had the sale for the last since Thanksgiving. No, since Black Friday. From Black Friday until today. Secret Comics presents the comic book that I drew, the horror anthology comic that I drew a few months ago, is on sale for 50% off. If you click the link down in the description below and pinned to the top of the chat, you can get the book for $10 with free shipping and handling. So for $10, if you live in the United States, it's free shipping. And just click the link below. That'll take you to the eBay page. Click the link to the side over there. That'll also take you there. And that includes copies with original sketches inside of the character of your choice. Everything's 50% off. So today is the last day. Sale ends at midnight Pacific Standard Time. So don't wait. This is cheaper than it was even selling for during the campaign, the crowdfunding campaign. I think at that time, it cost $15, including shipping and handling. Yeah, so get it now, because after today, the price will go back up. Probably won't go all the way up. It'll I think I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do, but for today is the last day. It's gonna be $10, definitely. And it'll definitely be more expensive than that after today. So go to the link below and to the side on the pin to the top of the chat and order copies. Get these books out of my house. So I greatly appreciate it. Also, if you haven't already done so, please make sure to hit the like button. Give this live stream a thumbs up. Please hit the bell for notifications of future videos. Make sure that when you hit the bell, the bell is set for all notifications, because otherwise you will not get all notifications. And yeah, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. What are you waiting for? Quit waiting. Subscribe to the channel and help YouTube's algorithm to notice my channel and to promote it a little more than it has been already. So I've been stuck at around. I guess what am I at now? 818, 800, maybe 19 subscribers. I've been stuck there for a while. So yeah, please, please, please hit the like button and comment down below in the chat. Let me know your thoughts, and I would greatly appreciate it. But anyway, everybody, thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. Let me check the chat one more time. Ah, yeah, it was Verotic. Yeah, okay, that was it. Glenn Danzig had Verotic comics back in the '90s, and I guess Death Dealer was printed through that, but I know that he had Simon Bisley doing coverage for them and everything. So yeah, it's very good art in Verotic. I never bought it, but I saw images of it. You know, back in the day. Jason Brubaker says that Verotic never paid him. Yeah, wow. That doesn't really surprise me. A lot of weird things have gone on with comics and over the decades. So that doesn't shock me too much. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. This is KOS-MOS for Jonnydingleburg, and hopefully, I will finish this shortly and be able to get this to him as he requested. Okay, guys, you take care, and I will talk to you probably tomorrow. Again, make sure to hit the bell for notifications and the like button. Okay, you guys take care. Yash and Vimri and everybody else, thank you for hanging out. I'll talk to you later. Bye.